And we welcome you to Golden West Field in beautiful Surf City, USA. As today, the Golden West Rustlers take on the Vikings of Long Beach City College. A great Saturday afternoon to you wherever you are this first Saturday in October. Rustlers will be starting this game on defense after kicking off, and Long Beach State starting this possession deep in their own zone. They'll start it at their own 10-yard line. Rustlers wearing their black, Long Beach City in their white tops with white hats. Blaze McKibben, your starting quarterback today, nearby product from Servite High School in Anaheim, 6'5", 225-pounder, bounced back from Fresno State. His first pass, he fires it out near side, and that's complete here on the sideline. And that is Jeff Trepanier, Jr., making the catch here near sideline. Freshman out of Inglewood. Picks up 7. It'll be a 2nd down and 3. Rahshaun, Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you. Ed Ford manning the controls. Pressure coming. McKibben tries to escape, and he can't. Pablo Araya getting in there for the sack. This is a Rustler defense that gets after it. 18th sack on the season for these Rustlers. Elisha Martin, Sele Pamasa, and Kylan Neal, top 3 in the Southern Conference in sacks. That was Pablo Araya there picking it up. His first one of the season. As McKibben will have it 3rd and 5 now. Delivers over the middle. Oh, what a grab. Snatched out of this Huntington Beach sky. And just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Long Beach City. Pickup of 16 there. McKibben on 1st and 10 is going to try to tuck it and gets across the 30, down at about the 33-yard line. So McKibben can run it a little bit. Don't allow the long frame to fool. He had 30 yards on the ground last week. He was 16 of 29, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. This Long Beach City team coming in here with the record of 2-2, coming off a loss last week against San Diego Mesa at the Vet, 45-34. McKibben with 2 backs. And they go to the ground for the first time today. And nothing doing on that carry as they tried the right side. And that was the lead back, Rodney Clemente Jr., freshman out of Chandler, Arizona. Clemente with 14 carries, 103 yards last week in the loss against Mesa. Another 3rd down opportunity here for Long Beach City. May have a free play, looking up the seam, and nearly picked off. Reich had his hands on it, but just could not haul it in. But there is a flag on the play. Likely going to be an offside against Golden West. And it will be. So repeat 3rd down. So it'll be a 3rd and a long 1. Ball at the Long Beach 38-yard line. McKibben. They go to the ground and picking up the 1st down at the 40-yard line is the tailback Galloway. Galloway more of the thumper. If talking to Brett Peabody, longtime head coach there for Long Beach City, if you remember those old USC teams with Reggie Bush and Lindale White, you got the speed in Clemente, and Galloway more of the thumper, more of the Lindale White type of role in this running game for Long Beach City. 1st and 10 from their own 40. They go to the ground one more time, and that's Galloway trying the left side this time, and Neal getting in there and picking up the tackle after a pickup of 2. So a 2nd down and 8 coming up. As royalty steps into the booth here at Golden West Field, none other than the voice of the Fullerton College Hornets, Mark Pavlovich. 2nd and 8. Oh, he's got a friend with him too. McKibben looking to pass, flushed out of the pocket, going left. He's got some space out there, and he gives himself up near midfield. Going to be close to a first down. He's down at about the 48-yard line of Long Beach City. So it brings up a 3rd down and 2. He's deceptively quick, is McKibben. 11:13 left, first quarter. Just underway here, first possession of the ball game. Long Beach City looking over here near sideline. Jalen Morgan in the slot here near side. Trepanier out wide. One back, low snap. McKibben delivering here near side, and he finds Morgan right at the 45 of Golden West, and enough for a first down. So this is a Long Beach City team that has only completed 33% of its 3rd downs coming into today. But so far, they're 3 of 3 here on this drive. So credit McKibben and company being able to keep this drive alive. The record is a bit deceiving for Long Beach City. Brett Peabody, a lot of people around Long Beach City thought this may be the most talented team he's ever had. As they go straight ahead near side, and that's Clemente Jr., big thump. Kylan Neal pick up a 4, and it brings up a 2nd down and 6 at the Golden West 42-yard line. As this drive continues, McKibben, low snap, delivering near side. Oh, picked off by the Rustlers. And down at the 45-yard line is Elias Hernandez, the corner out of Texas. The sophomore out of Frisco stepped right in there and took that away and entered this Golden West offense. Fourth interception for the Rustler defense this season, as Jake Retzlaff comes out, gives a fist bump to our white hat, and gets ready to go to work. The reigning SCFA Offensive Player of the Week, Retzlaff, first play is a handoff. They go to Mikey Carrillo, and he'll pick up 2, just shy of midfield. Ball at the Rustler 48-yard line. For McKibben, that's just his 2nd interception of the season. Approaching 9.5 to play here in this first quarter. First possession of the game for the Rustlers. They go to the ground one more time. Carrillo dancing behind that big offensive line and is able to stutter step up to midfield. Picks up 2, brings up a 3rd and let's call it 5. No score, approaching 9 to play here. Rustlers without the services of Torrance Wiseman today, out with an ankle. Retzlaff back to pass for the first time today. Pumps over the middle, leaning and making the grab at the 35-yard line is Kennewell. Nice job of the big fella getting down there and hauling that in, the 6'2 freshman out of Clackamas, Oregon. First down of the game for the Rustlers as they are in Viking territory. 1st and 10 from the Long Beach City 35. Retzlaff with 4 wide. 1 back, play fake, delivers far side, pass caught over there by Ojalabi. And he picks up 5 to the 30-yard line. Second and 5, Golden West from the Long Beach City 30. The back is Jared Johnson as Retzlaff operates out of the pistol. He's got 4 wide. As Johnson steps up and he gets the carry, going right, makes a nice cut and is able to burst his way up to about the 25-yard line, call it the 24, and that's enough for another Rustler first down. As we're just under 8 to play here first quarter, no score here between Long Beach City and Golden West. First meeting for these two programs since 2017. That was a win here by the Vikings, 52-24. Rustlers went up 10-0, and then Long Beach City answered back with 28 straight and went on to defeat Golden West here on its home field. Under 7.5 to play here, first quarter. First possession of the game for the Rustlers. Reigning SCFA Offensive Player of the Year going back to pass Retzlaff, and that pass is going to be short. He was looking for Tanner Branson for the first time this afternoon. Heavy pressure coming up the middle. This is a very stout defensive line for Long Beach City. A key to the game today for Golden West is going to be able to maintain on that O-line and somewhat keep that very talented defensive line at bay. Retzlaff operates out of the pistol on 2nd and 10. Looking far side, and he overshot his man Kennewell. He was looking for him on a fade, but that one goes out of bounds, incomplete. And the coverage over there by Thaddeus Dixon, one of the top corners in Southern California, is Dixon. And Brett Peabody loves him. Nearly had an acrobatic interception in the end zone last week in the loss to Mesa. Although this secondary, as talented as they are for Long Beach, they did give up a couple big plays. On 3rd and 10, pressure coming over the middle and nearly picked off. That one was right in the breadbasket. And unable to come up with that one was Davis, who had an interception last week. But there's a flag on the play. So let's see, did they get in there late against Retzlaff? Roughing the passer against the defense. So to be half the distance and a first down for the Rustlers. That's Tim Kiefer, our white hat today. The umpire, Leonard Jefferson. Spencer Hoffelder is the head linesman. Kyle Takayo is the line judge. The field judge is Corey McManaman. John Gill is the side judge. And Victor Hawthorne, our back judge today. So put the ball at the 12. And Retzlaff will go back to work. 1st and 10. One back, Carrillo. He gets the carry, going far side, puts his shoulder down. He's run out of bounds and close to a late hit there. No flag that comes in, however. Picks up 4 up to the 8-yard line. Under 7 to play here in this first quarter. Rahshaun Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you on this first Saturday in October in the year 2021. Ed Ford manning the controls. Jake Retzlaff ushering this Golden West offense with 4 wide receivers. Play fake over the middle, incomplete. That ball was thrown slightly behind the tight end, Saval. And so that'll bring up a 3rd down, 6:35 to play. 3 would be good, but of course you would rather have 7, especially off the turnover. Rustler defense, after being pushed, was able to come up with an interception. Elias Hernandez picking off Blaze McKibben on the Vikings' first drive of the game. Here's the ensuing possession for the Rustlers. 3rd and 6 from the 8. Vikings show blitz. Retzlaff adjusts. He's got 3 on the play clock. Gotta hurry. Takes the snap. Looking. Branson off his hands and intercepted in the end zone. Off the tip drill, and they say no. They say the ball hit the turf. They say the ball hit the turf. So no interception. Huge break there for Golden West. As these two teams were nearly swapping picks, Van Hook thought he had his 2nd interception in as many weeks. Instead, enter Jake Cypress and the kicking unit. This one will be on the right hash from the 15-yard line. 25-yard attempt here for Cypress. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Rustlers get 3, and they score first here in Huntington Beach. As our score, Golden West 3, Long Beach City nothing. As you're watching Golden West Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. 6:23 to play. And don't forget, Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you by the fine folks of Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, look, you need a deal? They got a deal for you. Go down there and talk to the fine folks there. They can help you out. New cars, used cars, whatever you're in the market for, go ahead and visit the fine folks at Miller Toyota of Anaheim right off the 91 and Euclid. Rahshaun Haylock here alongside Ryan Osborn. First Saturday in October. And we thank you so much for being a part of us here today. Rustlers looking to pick up win number 4 prior to next week's bye. Cypress puts boot to ball, and this one carries through the back of the end zone, and it will be a touchback. It'll be first down and 10, Long Beach City from their own 25. Long Beach will play a couple of different quarterbacks. We saw McKibben get the start, but Derek West, transfer from LA Valley, will get some time in there as well. West, a little bit more shiftier. He's also left-handed as well. Not as tall as McKibben. But McKibben, after throwing the interception on the first drive of the game, is back out there for drive number 2. So here we go. Vikings have it first and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Clemente is the back. And he gets the carry right up the gut. He's spun around and drugged down to the turf. That Rustler defense getting in there on him very quickly. And Dakota Hart in there making the stop. He was the first one to him.
Rahshaun, you mentioned the Rustler defense. They forced 3 fumbles in the last game against Riverside City College, 2 of which they were able to recover. That's one of the big things for them. They're able to strip the ball away at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 8. McKibben with time looking, and he overshot his man. That one sailed way over the head of his intended target, Zach Leitz. That's a big target. 6'5", 220 sophomore out of South Torrance High School.
3rd down and 9.
5:46 left, first quarter. Rustlers by 3. 3rd and 9 coming up here for Long Beach from their own 26-yard line. Ball near hash. Looked like there was some movement. McKibben stepping up in the pocket, and he's going to go down! Another Rustler sack. 2nd of the afternoon. Tyler Williams getting in there. And that's sack number 19 on the season for this defense that has been just relentless getting after the quarterback. And so Long Beach will be forced to punt it for the first time today. And on their first punt last week, they had one blocked by Mesa. Here's Jerron Lincoln, 6-foot freshman out of Long Beach Millikan High School. Iman Lewoy back to receive it for the Rustlers. The directional kick coming near side. Lewoy runs under it, makes the fair catch at the 44-yard line of the Rustlers. So enter Retzlaff and company for possession number 2, trying to increase this 3-point advantage here in Surf City, USA. Did I miss the air show, Ryan? Was that yesterday?
Nope, no, you did not miss it. There have been planes all this morning and yesterday as well.
So it is today, right?
Yep. Everybody got in position yesterday, and then it is today.
Normally, I hear a lot, we see a lot more activity on it. Always a great day, right? Whenever the air show is going and the Rustlers are playing at the same time. Normally, we hear more activity by this point. Haven't yet, but the day's still young. Empty set for Retzlaff. Pressure coming. He tries to escape, but nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. We talked about that stout offensive line, and our defensive line, I should say, for the Vikings, and they were able to get to him. In there making the sack is Alan Parrish, Big 285-pounder out of Norwalk, John Glenn High School. Under 4.5 to play. Loss of 2 there on the sack. 2nd and 12. Retzlaff takes the snap, knee high. Has time over the middle, pass caught, and getting down right at the sticks is Branson. And it's a first down Golden West as they maneuver themselves into Long Beach City territory for the first time this drive.
That's a nice route that's taken. He goes right past the sticks, a yard pass to make sure that he has the marker, and then that's when he hooks back.
Branson coming off a 2-touchdown performance in the big win at #1 Riverside last week. Knocking off the reigning national champions. Retzlaff goes option, the toss to Johnson, and nothing doing. Credit to this Long Beach defense, they're all on top of it. J.D. Davis coming up from his safety spot making the tackle. So Rustlers behind the sticks once again for the 2nd time here on this drive. You see the pink being worn by the players here. October, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you'll see that throughout various levels of football. As Retzlaff takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, but maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Not much doing there as Parrish got in on the tackle once again. So 2:45 left here, first quarter. Retzlaff back to pass, looking over the middle, caught. Enough for the first down, looks like so, right at the sticks. And that was Aquanzik Anderson. And a first down for the Rustlers, move those sticks.
That's good enough for a first down.
So another 3rd and long, Ryan Osborn. Rustlers able to convert. Retzlaff back with 4 wide now. Ball right in the middle of the field at the 35-yard line of Long Beach. Johnson with a stutter step, then crashes forward for about 3. Dalen Pedroza on the stop.
And the difference between this drive and last drive on those third downs is that the routes aren't overly complicated. Get right up to the sticks, turn around, present a target, and Retzlaff's able to find them.
He's getting the ball there right on time, right? Second and 7 from the 32. They go the stretch play to Johnson. Johnson, a nice little jump cut there to pick up a couple extra yards up to the 25. And that's close to a first down. 3rd and 1 here, as we're just under 1:20 to play in this first quarter. Rustlers scored on their opening drive of the game after forcing a Long Beach turnover. Cypress able to split the uprights with a field goal. Here's Retzlaff on the keeper. And Jake Retzlaff picking up a first down and more as he was able to get to that 2nd level on the option up to the 15-yard line. Nice pickup there of about 9.
That was a 10-yard gain.
And a first down for the Rustlers as we're under a minute here. Three wide, he's got Branson in the slot, Johnson, the deep back. Now he moves to the left of his quarterback. Play fake, looking, end zone, Branson going up and coming down with it. Touchdown, Rustlers. Eighth touchdown pass of the season for Jake Retzlaff. And for Branson, that's touchdown number 4. As the Rustlers go up now by 2 possessions.
Jake
Cypress on to make it a double-digit lead. And the kick is good. Rustlers 10, Long Beach nothing. 26 seconds left here in the opening frame. And what a catch there by Branson. Dare we say he mossed him? Can we say that, Ryan Osborn? Was that a mossing?
It was, and you know what? He also kind of looked like a good power forward in basketball. You turn around, move your hips, get into the defender, box him out, and then present yourself with solid positioning. He got squared to the football and didn't allow the defender to have the chance to move past him and knock it away.
Phenomenal catch there. Tanner Branson coming off a 5-catch, 72-yard, 2-touchdown performance in the big win over Riverside last week. Retzlaff, of course, the reigning offensive player of the week in the SCFA, and slowly but surely starting to make a name for himself in the junior college world of Southern California football. Brett Peabody, a tremendous amount of respect for what he saw on film from the Rustler quarterback. This kick is short, taken at the 5-yard line. Shucking and jiving and making some moves across midfield is Ridgely. And he's able to get it to about the 30-yard line of Golden West, or at least in the vicinity. Officials may have missed a couple holes there, Ryan.
Yeah, it looked like right about the 17-yard line. There was an opportunity for Golden West to kind of bottle him up inside the hashes, and then all of a sudden pops it to the outside with 2 blocks.
Trinell Ridgely, freshman transfer out of Southwest Minnesota State. It's the best field position of the game so far for Long Beach City. It's definitely one you want to kick out of the back of the end zone, you would imagine, right, Ryan? Instead, you give Ridgely the opportunity, and he shows you what he can do. Ball at the 34 of the Rustlers. They go ground game, Clemente, and nothing doing. He's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. First guy to get to him was Ismail Souza. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. So after 1, Golden West 10, Long Beach City nothing. As you're watching Golden West Rustler football on SportsNetUSA.net. This was a first quarter controlled by Golden West, forcing a turnover on Long Beach's first drive of the game, cashing that in for 3 points. And then after the defense was able to force a 3-and-out, they came right back down and found the end zone for the first time today. It was Retzlaff hooking up with his favorite target, Tanner Branson. Branson going up and over the defender to make the grab. Moss style, if you will. So here we are to start this second quarter. That was a loss of 2 on that final play of the first. So Long Beach City, I beg your pardon, to be operating behind the stick. 2nd down and 12 from the Rustler 36-yard line. McKibbin taking the snap in the flat, and look out. Big hit, a flag's going to come in. Clemente was out there in no man's land. McKibbin led him a little bit too much, and coming up and tattooing him was Alex Reich, but I'm afraid this may be a targeting, Ryan.
It looked initially like it was, in fact, high by Reich. The question was, did he lead with the crown of his helmet, or was it principal contact to
Let's see here. Here's the replay, and it looked like he had his head down, leading with the crown. Certainly looks that way. Of course, the officials here at this level don't have the luxury of using replay as they do at the Division I level. that's huge. You lose one of your leaders defensively, one of your top defensive backs in Alex Reich. And he's done for the rest of the game, the sophomore out of Switzerland. He's been arguably the most productive DB for the Rustlers this season. And as a result of the targeting foul, he's done for the remainder of this contest.
And you and I saw him in 2019 kind of come into his own throughout the back half of the season. He turned into their interceptions leader and also helped force 3 different fumbles in the secondary. That's a huge blow going against Long Beach City. And if you're Long Beach City on the other side, that offense, you've got to go right at his replacement in the secondary.
Obviously, targeting has been a huge topic of conversation, right? And people not liking the rule in terms of the repercussions of it. The automatic ejection, but it is for player safety, but not just the offensive player safety, but the defender safety as well, and that's a dangerous play there by Reich. Leading with the crown, having his head down, you leave yourself open to, potential neck injury there. And so it's not just for the safety of the offense, but for the safety of him as well, and that one definitely his safety. Pretty easy call to make, as Clemente gets the carry. Picks up about 5 to the 15. Tough blow for the Rustlers. McKibben hit as he throws, and that ball's recovered by the Rustlers, but they say incomplete. They say it was an incomplete forward pass. But McKibben getting tattooed there. See the pressure coming at him right in his face. And that was Jonathan Laban applying the pressure in the big hit. So it brings up a 3rd down here. 3rd and 7, or 3rd and 5, I beg your pardon, from the 15. Pressure coming, McKibben looking to set up the screen, but incomplete. Pressure was coming in hot from the edge. And this Rustler defense coming alive here. Souza applying the pressure there. So enter Ryder Padilla, the freshman out of Lakewood Mayfair. This one going to be from 33, and hold everything. It's going to be a delayed game against Long Beach City. Josue Alexander also in there on that big 3rd down stop, getting to the quarterback. So here's Padilla. This one now going to be from 38. Kick is up and good.
The 38-yard field goal is good.
So Padilla, after going 0 for 1 last week, is able to get his first field goal of the day. And so that cuts the Rustler deficit, or the Rustler lead, I beg your pardon, to 7. 10-3 our score here, 13:58 to play in this 2nd quarter. Rahshaun Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you. Big story on that drive though, however, the ejection of Alex Reich after being called for targeting.
Kicking off for the Vikings is Mario Delatorre. team for the Rustlers, even the boy, Justin Hinsey.
De La Torre, who has a huge leg for the Vikings, will be kicking it off. Lewoy and Hinsey back. Lewoy going to get an opportunity from his own 5. Comes out the hash marks near side. Up the sideline. Lewoy trying to maneuver, and he's run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Kylan Neal on the Rustlers special teams, having a lot to say to this Long Beach City sideline. Neal from Long Beach, Poly High School, and there's a lot of Long Beach players represented on this Vikings roster. So you got to imagine he's either played with or against some of these guys throughout his life. Very chatty. You may have heard Rustler coaches to our right trying to calm him down from the box. 1st and 10, Rustlers start this drive at their own 39-yard line. Here's Gianni Hurd getting his first carry today. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And that was the big fella Kuzar, the freshman out of Northwood High School in Irvine. Kuzar, one of the top defensive linemen for Brett Peabody. I mean, the group is phenomenal up and down the line. They go to Hurd once again. Oh no, play fake, but this one thrown short and picked off. Far sideline and coming back here. And right out of bounds at about the 35. But that was none other than Thaddeus Dixon. We've talked about him in the early going. There's a flag on the play.
Thaddeus Dixon with the interception.
It's going to be right at the sideline, as after the interception and after he was forced out of bounds, the entire Long Beach sideline came up to talk to, looked like the wide receiving group for Golden West. So both of them went back and forth. We'll see whether or not it's offsetting, but it looked like it might have been the Long Beach sideline that came up to the player.
Tanner Branson making the stop. So they get Branson on a personal foul for a late hit.
15-yard penalty will bring the ball down to the 19.
He kind of spun around Dixon and threw him down to the turf. He's probably well out of bounds by the time that happened. You got a new quarterback in there, and that's Derek West getting his first snap of the day. He's a guy that can move, but this time he hands it off, and that's Galloway taking it on the near side. And Saeed Galloway gets out of bounds. Picks up about 5 here. Ball is up to the 15-yard line. 2nd down. As West looks over. He's got Galloway in the backfield with him. Low snap. West, the lefty, running for his life, throws it up and out of bounds. Incomplete, just trying to throw that one away. But heavy pressure coming in from the Rustlers. Devontae Dillard causing most of it.
It's 3rd down and 6.
So 3rd and 5 from the 15. Clemente is the back for West. Takes the snap, the lefty looking for Clemente in the flat, and he threw it too short. So a nice job here by this Rustler defense. And that's going to force the kicking unit to come on. And I'm sure that's a throw West will probably want to have back. Brett Peabody, the first to greet him as he comes off the field. Had a couple of words for him now. Talking to one of the other assistants as he makes his way back to the bench. Here's Padilla. He hit from 38 on the last possession. This one going to be from 32. And nearly blocked, but Padilla splits the uprights. So 6 straight scored by Long Beach. These last 3 coming off of a Retzlaff interception. .12:03 to play here in this second quarter. That Viking defense picked off 2 passes last week, nearly had more than that. They've almost had 2 here today, but only 1 counted. That was the one by Dixon that led to that last field goal scoring drive. So 10-6 our score, 12:03 to play in the second. See if the Rustlers can bounce back. Nice job defensively there, though, to hold Long Beach to 3. Very, very short field for the Rustlers to defend. This one going to go to Henske at the 10, and Henske, 20-yard line up the far sideline, hurdles a man out of bounds at about the 30, but a late flag comes in.
Justin Henske with the return, penalty flag on the field.
It's going to be a hold against Golden West. So that'll move it back to the 20-yard line, and that's where this offense will take over. With 11:57 to play. First half. Retzlaff going to operate with 4 wide receivers. The lone back is Mikey Carrillo. Takes it going left. Carrillo with the seam. Mikey Carrillo, second level, breaks the tackle, 35-yard line, still on his feet. And down at the 41. 21-yard pickup for Carrillo. A helmet came off for a Vikings player.
One thing you like to see at this level, Rahshaun, is versatility. Branson earlier catches a touchdown here. He's the lead blocker on the far side. He gets up 7 yards, makes sure that he clears a path on that far sideline for Korea to move through.
Raymond Meso will have to come out after having his helmet popped off. Approaching an 11.5 here to play, second quarter. Play fake over the middle. Oh, what a snag. Caught inside of Viking territory. Ojalabi upended inside the 45-yard line and down at the 43. I mean, he was like Gumby on that one, extending and hauling it in. Golden West in business. Up 10-6. They hand it off to Johnson off the left side. Johnson lowering his shoulder and working against that far sideline. The physicality of this Golden West running back core starting to show itself here on this drive. It's another first down for the Rustlers after that pickup of 11. 1st and 10, Golden West. Ball at the Viking 32. Retzlaff sets up a screen. He has his tight end, Saval. Robbie Saval maneuvering, lowering the boom, and inside the 20-yard line down to the 15. Phenomenal play call there by John Shipp. 16-yard pickup there.
16-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10 at the 16.
First down and 10 Rustlers, approaching 10 and a half to play in this first half. Retzlaff in full command of this offense. Has one back with 4 wide receivers. Looking, throwing the fade, has Branson! Caught! Touchdown, Rustlers! Second time those two hook up for a touchdown today, and the Rustlers back up by 10. Looking to make its largest lead of this afternoon. Cypress in to attempt the point after. The hold by Retzlaff is good, and the kick is through. Rustlers by 11. Golden West 17, Long Beach City 6. 10-16 to play here. Second quarter as you're watching Golden West Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. I don't know about you, Ryan, but it seemed like that ball was hanging up in the air forever.
It was a
forever.
It was a nice floater that was tossed up there by him, and he placed it in the only spot that his receiver could get to, right on the sideline. So there was no chance for the defender to catch up to it or even pass breakup. All that was there was just the breadbasket in the 2 hands to haul it in.
From our vantage point, at least from my vantage point, I wasn't sure if it was going to carry out of bounds or not. But the aerial attack is real. Retzlaff operating a gym here so far. Rustlers by 11. Here's the kickoff, another short one, and another big burst here by Ridgely, as he's able to make a nice return up to the 40-yard line. And good field position once again to start this drive for Long Beach City. Can't kick it to him. Cannot kick it to him, Ryan Osborn.
No, and if you're Golden West, like you were talking about earlier, just send it to the back of the end zone. It stops the drive, or it doesn't allow him to move up the field with pace, and it also doesn't allow them to see their defense go onto the field having to play against a short field position.
West still in there at quarterback for his second consecutive drive for Long Beach City. Play fake, going to try to keep it. He does, makes one man miss, being strung out east and west, and a nice tackle from behind made by Williams. This is embarrassing, Ryan, but I think I just suffered a paper cut. I don't know. That last touchdown, I kind of got into, had my boards in my hand, got into it. All of a sudden, they've gotten sliced a little bit. Derek West in at quarterback for Long Beach City. Picked up 5 on that last carry. This time he hands it off, and nice job of moving behind that offensive line and getting his first carry today was the running back.
4-yard gain, 3rd down and 1.
Elijah Davis. Davis leads this team in touchdowns. Picked up 4 there, 3rd and 1 here for the Vikings. They give it to him again. Oh, ball's out! Ball is out! And it is recovered by the Rustlers. Sele Pamasa with the fumble recovery. First down, Golden West. Rustlers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 48. Sorry, Ryan.
That's the 4th in 2 weeks for them that they've been able to force. They've recovered 3 of those 4. They consistently make sure that they end up getting their hands and they're punching that ball away, and it's led to them having great field position each and every time that they have forced a fumble.
1st and 10 at the 48.
Tenth turnover of the season for the Vikings offense. Retzlaff back to work. Play fake, delivers, has Kennewell, off his fingertips. And a flag comes in. Van Hook was there in coverage, and he gave Kennewell a shot. Interesting call there, Ryan. If this does stand, it's look like it's going to go against Long Beach City.
Ball's at the 37-yard line now, 1st and 10.
So after the penalty, Rustlers will have it inside Viking territory. Carrillo gets the carry off left side. Carrillo second level. And he lost the ball, able to recover it though, however, at the 28-yard line. Picks up 8 there, brings up a second down and 2. Approaching 8 to play here in this first half. Rustlers on top, 17-6, largest lead of the afternoon for Golden West. They go to the ground once again, and Carrillo wrapped up and taken down to the turf in the backfield.
Carrillo caught in the backfield.
And that was the defensive end, Kuzar. Brett Peabody says he's just relentless. Great motor, also a high character, high GPA kid as well. One of the things he likes about him is he really embraces technique, and definitely showed it there. So loss of 4 there on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 6. So we're approaching 7 to play. First half action here on sportsnetusa.net. 4 wide. Retzlaff looking up the seam and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Hitting the turf there, but no whistle, or no flag, I beg your pardon. And officials deem that just incidental contact. Javon Williams, the intended target. And it's maybe 4 down territory here. It looks like.
It's a little long for a field goal and too short for you to end up punting it. And the thing is with that last route, it's a good no call by the official because the intended receiver goes up the middle of the field. They end up hitting cleats, and that's why he hits the deck. So the fans wanted a penalty, but sometimes you just end up getting locked up with the defender and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, incidental contact there. So 4th down and 6 coming up, 7:05 left. And while we have a moment, let's remind you, Golden West Rustler football here on sportsnetusa.net, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. They also offer service and parts for your convenience. Go down there. For any of your needs, Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located off the 91 and Euclid. Rahshaun Haylock, Ryan Osborn, Ed Ford manning the controls here. Obviously, Ryan, you got to think the ball's going to be in the hands of number 11 here.
And if I'm the Rustlers, I'm dialing up something quick over the middle, maybe a slant, just to get you right up to the sticks and no more.
You got Branson as the inside receiver, top of your screen. Kennewell, the lone receiver here, this near side. 4th and 6. Retzlaff, pressure coming, throws it, and incomplete, but a flag comes in. 2 flags come in. Kennewell was locked up over there. Bryson Parham Jr., the linebacker, pleading his case, but he was the one tasked with guarding Kennewell. Not sure if these are 2 separate penalties or just one. So they call a holding on the corner Van Hook. And so that'd be a 10-yard penalty and a first down. So no PI, but a holding. Regardless, Rustlers have a fresh set of downs as they move deeper into Viking territory. 1st and 10 from the Long Beach 22-yard line. Hurd back in there at a tailback. Ojalabi in the slot near side. Branson is in the slot at the top of your screen. Ratstaff turns around, hands it off to Hurd. He runs right into a white brick wall. Nowhere to go there. Kuzar once again in the mix for Long Beach City on that defensive line. Approaching 6.5 to play. Hurd behind Retzlaff in the pistol. He gets the carry straight ahead, and Gianni Hurd gets close to the 15-yard line. A pickup of about 7. So to be a 3rd down and call it 5. It's got Kennewell one-on-one at the bottom of your screen if he wants it. And they go to the ground. No, the play fake. He delivers it to the far side to Robbie Saval, the tight end. And it's another first down, Golden West. So they go play fake there on 3rd down. And Saval, the younger brother of Cody, making the catch, and it's another Rustler first down. Just 5:25 remaining before halftime. Rustler scored the first 10 points of this game. Long Beach City answered with 6 straight. And then Retzlaff and company answered back with a touchdown pass. And tripping on the turf there was the back Hurd. And he barely crawled back to the line of scrimmage. Big Alan Parrish going to have to leave the game after his helmet comes off. Approaching 5 remaining. Carrillo now in there at a tailback. 3 wide for Retzlaff. Play fake. Rolling, looking backside, wide open, Carrillo, touchdown, Rustlers. The misdirection fooled him. And Retzlaff with his 3rd passing touchdown of this first half as the Rustlers go on top 23-6.
That's beautifully executed too, because you saw in that misdirection, everyone on the offensive line rolls with the quarterback. They go off to the right. Every linebacker bid on it and went with them as well. That left Carrillo wide open off that played fake.
And hold everything. Some issues up front. So half the distance, they'll retry it. Let's see here. Rustlers dare send the offense back on to go for 2. I think Retzlaff was looking over in that direction, but they're going to keep Cypress out there. Kick is booted through by Cypress. So the lead now for the Rustlers is 18 with 4:41 to play here in the first half. Jake Retzlaff with 3 passing touchdowns here in this first half. 2 to Tanner Branson. That last one to his tailback, Mikey Carrillo, who fooled everybody on the misdirection. And And the Rustlers scored 14 straight here.
When Retzlaff has the ball, they're just moving it with efficiency. You're seeing him not try and force anything into coverages that are too tough to be able to handle on specific routes. You look at him, if the slant's open, he'll take that. If it's more of a fade route, he'll take that. He's not forcing the ball into covered areas. It's allowing for Golden West to march up the field at will.
Let's see if Cypress can boot this one into the end zone here. This one's going to be short again, but short enough to where Ridgely can't get to it, and so just covered by one of the up men.
Rahshaun, if you're Long Beach City College, I think this is a crucial drive for you, and whether or not you're able to get something going.
Derek West still in there. You wonder when they go back to McKibben. We've seen him on the sideline. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong with him from an injury standpoint. But they do run both of these quarterbacks.
Ball spotted at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 from the 25. West will hand it off. Here's Clemente coming near side. And he's upended just inside the 30.
Handoff to John Van
Really right at the 30-yard line.
Brought down by Malaki Gatewood.
Gatewood there on the stop.
5-yard gain to the 30-yard line. Quarterback for the Vikings, Derek West.
Nearly fumbled the snap there as West. Delivers it near side, caught by Jeff Trepanier Jr. And Trepanier with the extra effort to get near the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 1st down, Long Beach City. That name sounds familiar. Yes, that's the son of the former USC basketball player, Jeff Trepanier, who was on that Elite 8 team back in the early 2000s for USC. As Galloway is strung out, Pamasa coming up and saying hello for good measure.
No gain on run. 2nd down and 10.
That USC team coached by Henry Bibby. Had Brandon Granville on there, David Blumenthal, a couple of local products. Trepanier in his own right, a local guy. And his son here electing to play football. Under 3 left in this 1st half. Play fake. West, the lefty, delivering, thrown high and caught, but the ball's out. Ball is out. And it's recovered by the Rustlers, Dakota Hart. That was Trepanier making the grab. They rule it a catch and a fumble. Rustlers will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. I'm not sure if his knee was not down there, Ryan. But again, no replay here. Of course, we got the replay. We can show it for you, but the officials don't have that luxury. Coaches don't have the opportunity to challenge. Let's see, he makes the grab, he gets hit. Ah, that's close, bang, bang. Looked like that knee may have touched though. Really close, but it looked like that knee may have touched before the ball came out. So the Rustlers get the fortuitous call there. Fortune on their side as they'll try to increase this 18-point lead. Ground game going strong. Up to midfield, a pickup of 5 by Johnson.
Very underrated aspect for Golden West last week was their running game. Carrillo, 71 yards on his carry. It opened things up for Retzlaff because Riverside City College started to respect the run more, so they ended up bringing a couple more guys up into the box. It opened up that passing lane. Same thing that you're seeing here.
Under 2 to play here, 1st half. They go shovel pass, Johnson, and he knocks a defender's helmet off, but Parrish says, you may knock my helmet off, but you're not going anywhere, kid. And so his he's going to have to step off once again with that helmet issue. He's slow to get up, is Parrish. There's a pickup of about 2 on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and short. As there's a timeout on the field. Parrish a little banged up. Training staff comes out to attend to him. So the Vikings have had a couple tough calls go against them, Ryan. That last fumble there.
Then the pass interference on the last drive.
Yeah, there's a pass interference as well that looked to be like a play-on sort of thing.
3rd down and 2 at the 47.
3rd and 2 from the Viking 47-yard line. Johnson gets the carry, tries to turn the corner, does, and let's see, he made just shy. He's just shy of that 1st down marker. Decision time here for Nick Mitchell and John Shipp.
4th down and 1.
4th and 1 here.
And it looks like Retzlaff went up to the sideline and was asking if he could call his own number on it.
I'm sure he would want to. And, I mean, look, you got to figure with that 6'1" frame of his, he may have been able to. But here's the punt. And this one is going to bounce, take a Rustler bounce inside the 5 and down at the 1. Nick Mitchell's been very complimentary of his punter, Andrew Guzman. He had 2 inside the 20 last week. He's got 8 inside the 20 this season. And there's 1 inside the 5. He had a couple inside the 5 against Palomar in the win down in San Diego. It's rare that you hear coaches praise kickers, but Guzman has certainly been a bright spot in the special teams for the Rustlers. But prior to that, what I will say, Ryan Osborn, is ball don't lie, right? Ball don't lie. Rustlers get the turnover, but can't do anything with it.
One thing about punters is that people don't realize
They're people too? Yes, they are, Ryan. It's a very good observation on your part. I kid.
they have different types of kicks. Kicks that are meant to backspin, kicks that are meant to spiral and go forward, and kicks that are meant to bounce back like you saw there.
The English that they can put on a ball as West takes the snap deep in his own end zone. The English they can put on a ball almost similar to like a pull. Was there a safety? Is there a safety there? Rustlers are saying there's a safety. So add 2 more points. Let's see, no official call, and they say no. Officials say no, no, no.
So it's interesting, the far
The whole defense is on the sideline, though. They got to scurry and hurry back onto the field. They thought they just scored 2 points. And the Vikings can't take advantage. And a timeout called by the Golden West defense. Woo! What a that was nearly disastrous, Ryan Osborn.
Rahshaun, the far line judge, walked up to the line of scrimmage and called it a safety, and then it was waved off by the near side umpire.
Wow. Getting back to your point, almost like a pool player, right? The type of English, type of spin they can put on the ball, it's fascinating. And I was talking to someone, I was talking to a former pro about this, just how the art of punting has become so elevated. It's changed the game for returners, especially at the highest levels, right? Like maybe at the lower levels, you can tell a guy, okay, look, park at the 10. If it goes over your head, don't touch it. But when you get to higher levels of football, maybe Division I football, even in NFL for sure, like if you can catch that thing on the 5, you catch it at the 5 as opposed to letting it go and the kicking team is able to down it there at the 1. It's definitely changed. Definitely seen progression in that part of the game. So it'll be a 2nd and 10, ball on the Vikings' 1-yard line. Derek West now in there for his 4th straight possession. We saw McKibben for the first 2. It's been West the rest of the way here. You got to imagine his ability to move. Maybe one of the reasons why he's back in here for this one, as a big run here is Clemente shucking and jiving and provides more than breathing room for the Vikings as he gets it all the way up to the 30.
I mean, Rahshaun, if you want to talk about a ball don't lie type of play right there, Long Beach City was saying that was not a safety for the longest time. They end up getting the call, and what do you have next? An over a 30-yard run.
Touchdown saving tackle potentially by Hensey. This is going to be the last play of the half, and West going to go down. There were 3 Rustlers getting to him. Manuzzi led the charge, and that's going to take us to intermission. So Rustlers 24, Vikings 6. In the first half, that was controlled by Golden West. Rustlers scored 10 straight to start the game. Vikings answered back with 2 straight field goals. And then the Rustlers scored 14 straight to end the half. And that is where we stand right now, 18-point lead here. And look, this thing could have gone from bad to worse in a hurry, Ryan Osborn, but you got to credit this defense. They have guarded some really short fields here today and only surrendered 6 points.
Well, you just go back to the interception. When Retzlaff throws the pick, all of a sudden they found themselves inside their own 30-yard line, and yet the defense, with no Alex Reich anymore, was still able to hold them to within 11 yards gained after that pick happens. They're able to force Long Beach City College into 2 straight field goals when they had an excellent drive going or an opportunity to have one. So if you talk about this Golden West defense so far, it's just like you're saying, they are having a spectacular afternoon in this first half so far.
Yeah, it's why they're one of the top units in Southern California. At the half, it's Golden West 24, Long Beach City 6. Halftime here in Huntington Beach. We'll step aside. Rustlers by 18. You're watching Golden West Rustler football on SportsNetUSA.net.
SportsNetUSA.net right there. East LA, LA Valley College, Fullerton College, and Golden West all right here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we're getting set to come back here from halftime. Again, our score is 24-6. The Rustlers with the lead, and they have truly been able to keep command of this entire afternoon over top of Long Beach City College, forcing a bunch of turnovers and also capitalizing on one as well. And if you want to speak of the Rustlers, you got to go to the voice of the Rustlers, the franchise himself, Rahshaun Haylock.
Thank you, Ryan. You look at this first half. We talked about the defense. Jake Retzlaff, though. Your impressions on him in the first half?
I think he has really managed the game well. You look at his decision-making. We talked about it earlier, not forcing anything into tight windows that he doesn't have to. When he's moving the ball up the field, you've only seen him try to throw it 25 yards downfield once in this first half. He's not trying to force things long for Golden West College. He's simply saying, you know what? If Long Beach is going to give us those underneath passes, those screen passes, even a shovel pass that we saw earlier, they'll take it and move the ball up the field. You saw on that touchdown pass that he had to Ransom on that far side. He shows that he can have touch on his throws. It's not just zinging the ball in there with as much pace as possible. It's whether or not you can place the ball into a spot where only your receiver can get to it, and he's done that well in the first half.
It's a really great point you bring up, Ryan, because this is a Long Beach City team that showed it, like it's on film, right, that they will give up the big play. They did that against Mesa last week. And so maybe that's in the works here for this second half. It definitely will be something to watch. But Retzlaff, no doubt, having a tremendous game to this point. 3 touchdowns in that first half through the air. Here's the opening kickoff of the second half. Hensey gets it from his own 2, and he'll be taking it here near side, just inside the numbers. He's upended at about the 30-yard line. Nice play on the special teams for Long Beach City by Josh Barberin. 14:52 to play. As Jake Retzlaff will come back to work for the first time in this second half. Rustlers with an 18-point advantage.
The quarterback is number 11, Jake Retzlaff.
Comes from a great program, Corona Centennial High School. You know anything about high school football, you know the Huskies are one of the preeminent programs in the nation, led by longtime head coach Matt Logan. They go to the ground game, and Mikey Carrillo getting stronger by the day. Pickup of 12 there to start this second half. Be a 1st and 10, Rustlers from their own 43-yard line. Looks to be some confusion there. Retzlaff now taking the snap. Looks for Carrillo up the boundary. Carrillo with space. Mikey Carrillo, 20-yard line, cuts it back, and he's tripped up at about the 15. Touchdown saving tackle made there by Tanner Nelson. But Carrillo showing the hands out of the backfield.
That was a 47-yard gain.
Not 2 minutes ago, you mentioned could in the second half the big play be dialed up for Golden West College. So what do they do here? Initially, it's the opportunity to get Carrillo out into open space. The offensive line pushes up slightly to the left, so the linebackers go with it, and it frees up this near side of the field for them.
Pick up a 47. Ball at the 15-yard line. Inside Vikings territory. Rustlers trying to add to this 18-point advantage on this first possession of the second half. They go to Hurd, and Hurd tries to cut it back, and he runs right into the linebacker Pedroza.
1 yard gain on the run, 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9 coming up. Looked to be so much confusion on that play, Ryan, and all of a sudden, pressure comes in on Retzlaff. He's like, oh, wait, wheel route. Here we go. All right, boys, we're in business. 2nd and 9. Retzlaff on the keeper. Retzlaff in space. The juke inside the 5 and down at the doorstep. 13-yard pickup for Retzlaff. If he reaches Ryan, he probably gets in there, right?
But in this case, Rahshaun, you've got that big lead. You just want to protect the football.
Absolutely. Start calling you Coach Osborn before it's over. You know, he grew up right a stone's throw away from Centennial High School, where Matt Logan is. Maybe some of the remnants have rubbing off on my man Ryan Osborn as Hurd is taken down in the backfield.
I went to Centennial.
You went to Centennial. You're an
Centennial.
alum. So you're outside his office, actually. You are a member of the dark side. That's right. A proud Husky alum is Ryan Osborn. Watching another proud Husky alum, Jake Retzlaff, operate here. 2nd and goal from the 5. They go option. Retzlaff going to keep it and may have picked up 2.
Nice job by Long Beach on that one, sending someone out to make sure that Carrillo can't get to the outside.
Pedroza and Morgan there on the stop. They've done well against the option all day. Has the Long Beach defense. 3rd and goal from the 5, so they say he barely got back to the line of scrimmage. We have an issue on the offensive line for Golden West. Coming out is Graham Lau-Matia. And he's going to be replaced by Jack Raffo. So something to watch as Raffo will slide in there at right tackle. Is there some shuffling up front? Retzlaff on the run, throws it too high for his intended target, Carrillo. And so Long Beach holds. They gave up the big play, bent a little bit but didn't break, and going to try to hold the Rustlers to 3 here on this opening drive of the second half.
That's a big victory for the Long Beach defense there because, as you mentioned, they give up that big play, and too often it's easy, especially with the score, to just say, you know what? Okay, they're in the end zone. Let's get to that kickoff.
22-yard attempt for Cypress, and it's good.
The field goal is good.
So that makes it a 21-point game with 11:08 to play. You'd have liked 7 there, but 3's not so bad. If you're Long Beach, Ryan, coming out of the locker room at halftime, I mean, where do you go?
Well, the number one thing I'd say is give your kickoff return the max protection possible and try and get yourself a short field like you saw 3 separate times in the first half. Then you can work from there. Offensively, what's really worked for them is sending it out towards the sidelines, just picking up 6 and 7, little dinks and dunks. That's all they need to be able to start moving the sticks. You saw them get into trouble once they went towards the middle of the field. If Golden West is going to give them those sidelines, just take it and just keep moving the sticks.
We saw Derek West warming up here on this near sideline during the Rustlers' last possession. Which leads us to believe he's going to be coming back out to start this second half. And here's another big return here by Long Beach up to the 36-yard line. And that was Ridgely once again, but there's a flag on the play. Big game in the high school ranks last night, Mater Dei St. John Bosco. Monarchs with the 42-21 win. That game was tied 21 apiece at the half, Ryan. This will be a personal foul against Brandon Alcaraz from nearby Ocean View High School right here in Huntington Beach on the special teams for the Rustlers. And let's see, maybe not. So my apologies, Brandon. They got it wrong. They say it's actually against the receiving team, Kevin Rahman. Elijah Brown, that's a name to watch. Just a sophomore. Looks to be the next great Mater Dei quarterback. Started last spring as a freshman for the Monarchs and had quite the performance last night in the win over Bosco. Mater Dei, the #1 team in the country. Bosco entered that game #3 in the country. See how much of a dip they take. As look out, there's some extracurricular activity here near side as Gatewood is mixed up here with one of the wide receivers for Long Beach City. So those guys way on the other side of the field were tussling with one another. It's number 13. We don't have a 13 on our roster here. So that's a personal foul against Gatewood. And normally it's the second guy that gets caught, right?
It's the retaliation type of call. And what happens there is that he gets locked up with the wide receiver. He ends up being held to the ground or held towards the ground.
By the receiver.
By the receiver. And in trying to create that separation, just a little bit too much extension on it. That's where that personal foul comes in.
It's a tough call. West delivers in the flat. Pass caught here by Ridgely. Spins out of one tackle, comes near side, and a shoestring tackle made there by Gatewood.
J.D. Davis from quarterback Derek West.
And I beg your pardon, that's
5-yard gain on the play.
no, that was Ridgely. Two number 5s. Ridgely is the offensive number 5. Davis, the defensive number 5 for Long Beach. Couple of multiple numbers on this roster. Here's West, going to keep it himself, throwing on the run, has Trapanye, and he overshot him. There was a lot of pushing there on that one between Trapanye and Gatewood, but no flag. You see the arm talent there from West. I mean, that looked easy. That was not an easy throw.
And it was off his back foot, too.
Yeah.
Off balance, off his back foot, and just floats it out there, and it travels 45 yards.
Just kind of flicked it out there. He's a former all-conference performer at Long Beach is West. Low snap, West tucking, trying to run, and he goes right into Neal, who gets him at about the 41-yard line, and that brings up a 4th down. Kylan Neal. What a season this young man has put together, and has really had to contribute in some unorthodox ways. He's a linebacker, but has been forced to play some edge with some of the injuries on the defensive front. But he has become quite a bright spot here on this defense. See if the Rustlers try to send someone here. It's going to be a false start. So false start against the Vikings. And that doesn't have the Long Beach City sideline happy at all, their coaching staff. So here's Lincoln. Lewoy standing on his own 32, and this one gets away from Lincoln, and he's going to have to set and gather, and delivers a formidable kick, and it takes quite a bounce for Long Beach into Rustler territory. But that one barely got back to the line of scrimmage and took quite the bounce.
17-yard hop.
Fortuitous there by Long Beach. We talked about some of their issues in the kicking game last week. They had one blocked, setting up an early score for Mesa. This time, some issues on the battery there. And Rustler's going to have prime field position. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Play fake. Over the middle, Ojalabi, incomplete, and Rustlers looking for a flag, not going to get it. Davis there on the coverage. May have gotten there a little early, Ryan, it appeared, but no flag.
I think I'm okay with the no call there, as it looked like Ojalabi ended up creating a little bit more separation as well. So both guys kind of offset themselves.
Play fake over the middle, Ojalabi diving for that one and makes the catch at the 45-yard line. So pick up of 6 there, brings up a 3rd and 4 as we're under 8 to play here in this 3rd quarter. Third and 4. They go to the ground and pushing his way forward. Johnson not going to get the spot. They leave him short, about a yard shy of the 1st down marker. Let's see here. Really, really close there, but it's about a little less than a yard. But the punting unit will come on. And Guzman's got one inside the 5 earlier today. Punted it 6 times last week in the win at Riverside. High snap, pressure right in his face. And a fair catch called for and made at the 10. 6:43 to play here. Third quarter at Rustler Field. Golden West football on sportsnetusa.net is brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. New car deals, used car deals, whatever your flavor, they got a deal for you. Go ahead, hit up the fine folks at Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located off the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim proudly supports junior college sports and education. Rahshaun Haylock here alongside Ryan Osborn, Ed Ford manning the controls. You may have heard him here at the half as well. On this first Saturday in October, Derek West taking the snap, 1st and 10 from his own 11. They go to the ground and a big hit. Big hit coming from the secondary.
Dijon Van Hook. Three-yard gain.
That was Clemente on the carry. He picked up 4. Low snap, West, flushed out of the pocket. This is where he's dangerous. He can run. Gets the first down and more as he gets to that sideline and steps out of bounds at about the 30. Pickup of 16 on that run for West.
17-yard gain on the run.
I gotta wonder if there's something going on with McKibben. Go to the ground once again, Clemente, but a nice stop in the backfield there by the Rustlers, Pablo Araya. Approaching 5.5 to play in this third quarter. Rustlers led by 18 at the half. They added 3 here in this third. West looking over to the sideline to get the play. Keeps it himself, now delivers on the run. Nice execution there as the catch is made near sideline by number 13. Hitski there on the stop for the Rustlers.
And if there's one thing that we've seen so far from West is that he's very comfortable throwing while he's on the run. He does not have to be inside the pocket to let one go.
We do not have a 13 on our roster. We apologize for that, folks.
24-yard gain on the play.
Vikings inside Rustler territory. 1st and 10 from the 45. Clemente trying to get outside, and Pamasa getting in there and getting to him. Also had some help from Vasquez. Flag on the play. So they get Justin Hensey for the face mask. This ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line. West with 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. Low snap. They try to go option. West keeps it himself, turns something out of nothing there as the Rustler defense pursued quickly, but West able to pick up about 4 on the play.
4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6.
So 2nd and 6 coming up, all at the 24-yard line. Channel defense by the Rustler sideline opposite us. Home crowd trying to pick it up as well. 3:45 left. West, they set up the screen, pass caught, tight end, but the Rustler defense all on top of it. Sele Pamasa in there, able to corral the ball carrier Easter, the sophomore out of Lakewood Mayfair. TJ Easter, the sophomore tight end, just his 2nd catch of the season. Brings up a 3rd down and 1. West looking over to the sideline. West, play fake. They go in the flat. Ridgely catches it, and he's tripped up right at the 20-yard line. Let's see, is that enough for a 1st down? Let's see. Gonna be awful close. They say no gain officially. So a 4th down coming up. Ball at the 20. Crowd starting to come alive here on this 4th down play. Approaching 2.5. They hand it off Clemente, and looks like he got it. He picks up 2 there. Able to fall forward, and it's a 1st down for Long Beach. We saw this Long Beach team put up a ton of yards last week against Mesa. Just didn't have the points really to show for it. Or I should say they couldn't keep up with the scoring pace of Mesa. It's probably more accurate. They were able to put some points on the board. Galloway on the carry, and Pamasa tracks him down from behind. He scored 34 points, but gave up 45, so that's a tough one. Talking to Brett Peabody earlier this week, he said it's been a tough year, a bunch of different levels. Obviously coming back from no football last year in the season that was canceled because of COVID, but no spring. They were only allowed to condition in early April. Not allowed in the weight room until July, and in a moment of candor and transparency, he said, there's Wes has his man here near side, inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to be close to a 1st down as Easter makes his 2nd grab of this drive. He said he sort of underestimated the impact that would have on his team, and so far it showed. Here's West going to keep it. West getting to the outside and skips into the end zone. It's a touchdown, Long Beach City. There is an injured Viking on the field. Also a flag on the play. So got an injured Viking and a flag on the play. Can't quite see who the player is that is down for Long Beach City. Appeared to be one of the offensive linemen, however. And getting up is the center, Matt Barcott, sophomore out of Palos Verdes. He's played guard most of the year, but last week he got his first start at center. He's played really well as a key cog on this offensive line. That last penalty was against the Rustlers, declined by Long Beach, and so the touchdown stands. So it's a run by West. First touchdown allowed by the Rustlers today. Trying to see if I see Blaze McKibben on the sideline, Ryan. There's no sight of number 12. We saw him in the first half.
At the end of the first half, he was still warming up in front of us here on the sideline, but I have not seen him since.
Extra point is up and through. Their sideline is right in front of us. think we may spot him now. You see him, Ryan?
Yeah, he's under the tent off to our right.
Is that the injury tent?
Yes, indeed.
So maybe he is getting attended to. Of course, we didn't get any word of any injury up here. But as you mentioned, Ryan, he was warming up, right? That looks like a guy ready to re-enter the game, but he may have just been going through some sort of process to be able to re-enter the game. Nonetheless, it's been Derek West, save for the first 2 possessions of the game that were engineered by Blaze McKibben. So 1:15 to play here in this third. Rustlers up by 14. Hensey backpedals and catches it at the 2. Takes it outside the numbers, far side. Hensey at the 25 and run out of bounds at the 27. Both of these teams will be entering the SCFA bye next week. This Long Beach team will travel to Ventura to open up Northern play on the 16th. Rustlers on the 16th will be at Southwestern. It'll be a 6 p.m. kickoff to open up play. So as the conference schedule shakes out for Golden West, they'll have 3 home and 2 on the road. Both will be in San Diego. 1 trip to Southwestern, another trip to Mesa. .106 left to start this third quarter drive for Jake Retzlaff. From his own 27-yard line, and there's some movement up front. Hard to hide when you're that big, Ryan. That was Lau Matia, the freshman left guard out of Las Vegas. First and 15 from the 22. Hurd with the crease. Hurd tries to cut it back, does, gets to the second level, up to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 9 there. And we have an injured Viking. Dare I say, Ryan, it's a very important drive for the Rustlers?
It is. You have to see how they are able to respond after that last scoring drive from Long Beach City College. Since it's only 2 scores, you have to give yourself a little bit more insurance, especially going into the 4th quarter. If you're able to get yourself on the board again before the end of the 3rd quarter finishes, now you're looking at Long Beach City having to capitalize on each and every possession they have in the 4th. If you're Golden West College, take some time, get yourself upfield, and put together a solid drive that ends in points, and you have control of this game.
Alondro King, the injured Viking, out of Compton Centennial High School, able to walk off under his own strength. 51 seconds left in this third. 2nd and 6 for the Rustlers from their own 31-yard line. Hurd, the lone back, 4 wide for Retzlaff. Play fake, Retzlaff has a man caught, and that is nearly lost, but recovered there by the wide receiver, Javon Williams.
Javon Williams with the reception for first down. 13-yard gain on the pass play.
Freshman out of KC Mo. And that's going to take us to the end of this third quarter. Did they say he was down there, Ryan?
That's what it looked like initially. They called him down right at the 44-yard line.
Similar call that did not go the way of the Vikings in the first half. So after 3, it's the Rustlers 27, Long Beach 13. As you're watching Golden West football right here on sportsnetusa.net. Rahshaun Haylock alongside Ryan Osborn, the Darksider himself, and the one and only Ed Ford manning the controls here. Rustlers 15 minutes away from a bye, and hopefully their 4th win of the season prior to reaching that mid-season bye. 3-1 on the season, coming off one of the biggest wins in program history a week ago at Riverside, knocking off the then #1 team, #1 ranked, I should say, Riverside Tigers, reigning state champions and national champions, Tom Kraft's bunch. So Golden West trying to keep it going here as we start this 4th quarter. Gianni Hurd, nice stutter step. Hurd finds the outside across midfield, and there goes Gianni Hurd. Good night, Irene. Touchdown, Rustlers.
56-yard run for Gianni Hurd.
Gianni Hurd, 56-yard touchdown run, puts the Rustlers back up by a dub. 14:43 to play here in this 4th quarter. You said it was an important drive, Ryan Osborn, and Hurd with the capper there.
Credit to these rushers for Golden West College. Castillo earlier and then, Carrillo earlier and then also Hurd. Following their blockers. They stay behind their blockers until it's fully set up and then they burst through the hole. It allows them to get upfield with a little bit more opportunity to see what's in front of them when you let your outside blockers do their job and give you an open lane. Golden West has done that successfully, and it's shown on the scoreboard.
And credit that offensive line as well, playing for the 2nd straight week without its leader, Lava Tawaika, who was injured the last time we were here in the loss against Bakerfield. Lava out for the season with a broken ankle that is going to require surgery. So Michael DeViro has stepped in at center and played masterfully. But Lava, a guy who's been so versatile, played both guard and tackle in 19, and this year was pegged as the starting center. So we wish Lava a speedy recovery and his best at the next level wherever he ends up. But Gianni Hurd with the 56-yard touchdown run there as this kickoff carries into the back of the end zone. Rustlers by 21, its largest lead of the game.
Just what you were talking about earlier, for the last 3 times that they've sent the ball into the, or towards the end zone, they finally do send it through the end zone this time.
I feel like that's what you got to do. I mean, that's the best weapon for any special teams unit, for any kickoff unit, right? And it helps your defense a ton. It's rare that you'd be able to pin teams deep inside their own 10 or even 15 for that matter off of a kickoff. So West back in there at quarterback, hands it off Clemente, and bodies flying all around in black uniforms, swarming to the ball carrier, as Clemente barely got back to the original line of scrimmage. About 4 Rustlers there. At least. In case you're just joining us, Alex Reich ejected in the first half for targeting. So Rustlers a little shorthanded in the secondary, but they have played stellar, as has been the case much of this season. West under pressure finally delivers it to Clemente, who goes all the way across the field and dragged down from behind at the 40-yard line. As Prince Ford making the stop there. Prince, the younger brother of former Rustler Jacuz Ford, who's now at the University of Montana. They deliver it out here to Ridgely, and Ridgely makes one man miss, comes across this near sideline and cuts it back inside at the 40, but there's a flag on the play in the offensive backfield. And another penalty near midfield. So 2 flags on this play. It looks like this one going to be coming back. So you got a roughing the passer and a holding.
And West in the backfield called it immediately, looked over at the official and pleaded for that flag to come out, and it's a rightful one. The ball had already left his hand well after, or well before the contact was initiated in the backfield.
Offsetting penalties will repeat first down, 1st and 10. Vikings at their own 41-yard line. Clock starts with 13:34 left. West, pressure coming right in his face and setting up the screen out of the reach of his intended target. Defense got to West in a hurry there. As it was Devontae Dillard applying the pressure. Intended receiver.
Second down and 10.
Davis, the intended receiver there for the Vikings. West, empty set this time. Flushed out of the pocket, is gonna run, and he slides near midfield, and a flag comes from the 20-yard line. You wanna see an air show? That flag just flew about 30 yards in the air.
6-yard gain.
As it looks like this one is going to be against the Rustlers. Those are those tough plays though, right? Like bang bang plays, Ryan.
Yeah.
West giving himself up there, but
when you mention West giving himself up, it was also that slide that he tried to go into. It wasn't as decisive as you would like to see it from a quarterback that just says, you know what, I'm going right to the ground. It's tough as a defender to be able to pick up on that.
so it's going to go against the Rustlers.
First and 10 at the 38.
Another name we haven't called a lot today, Zach Leaks, the leading target on this team. He's on the sideline right now, helmet in hand. Here's Davis trying to turn the corner, puts his shoulder down after he picks up maybe 2.
Justin Livingston with the run. 2-yard gain.
Elijah Davis there on the carry. Picked up 2, 2nd and 8 from the Rustler 36. They floated out to the flat. Nice one-handed grab made out there right in front of the Rustler sideline. Davis once again out of the backfield. It's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down as they move the sticks. So the clock will stop with 12:32 left. West operating out of the pistol. 1st and 10. They hand it off, and nice dancing in the backfield before getting to the second level is Davis once again. Gets it inside the 20. At about the 19-yard line. They go hurry up here. They give it to Davis one more time, and this time he's swallowed up in the backfield. Rustlers not fooled that time, as Souza got there. Despairs in there on the tackle as well. 3rd and 2 from the 21. And once again, right into the teeth of the defense. And Rustlers come up with a big 3rd down stop there. Barely getting back to the line of scrimmage was Davis, but Laban there, along with Despairs once again, may have even lost one. They give him back forward progress to the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and 2. Davis still in there at the tailback. Approaching 11 to play. They give it to him once again, and he's stopped. Jonah Laban with the stop in the backfield, turnover on downs. This rush defense, Ryan Osborn, has been relentless for the Rustlers.
And you see the emphasis on that tackle there. He makes sure that he gets a hand right on top of the ball, so that way there's no possibility for extension to get it past the sticks. It allows Golden West to get that turnover because of how he wraps up the football.
So with 11:03 to play, Rustlers will take over 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. Hurd in there, who on his last touch went 56 yards to the house. Lines up behind Retzlaff, who operates out of the pistol. Turns around, gives it to Hurd one more time. A nice cut. Hurd, 2nd level, lowers his shoulder at the 30-yard line where he's down, enough for a 1st down. As this drive starts on a positive note for Golden West. They mark him down at the 32, so a pickup of 12 there for Gianni Hurd. Hurd starting to put together a couple of impressive outings here back-to-back weeks. He had 9 carries for 54 yards last week. Not thought to be the feature guy per se, but he's definitely a change of pace kind of guy. And there he goes again, Gianni Hurd outside. Midfield, Hurd on the sideline, and he's shoestring tackled just shy of the 40 here near sideline by Davis. Picks up 26 there. So Hurd starting to get going as the Rustlers wearing down this Long Beach City defense now with the run as we approach 10 to play here. How about 17, Ryan Osborn?
The way that he runs, he just continues to churn his legs. It's hard for a defender to keep their arms wrapped around him when those knees keep moving forward.
1st and 10 inside of Long Beach territory. Vikings say, hey, enough is enough. As Hurd picks up about a yard, but there's a flag on the play. Alan Parrish there underneath that pile. It's the first to get to him. You wonder offensively what's going on with Leeds, what's going on with McKibben for Long Beach. It's going to be a face mask against Long Beach City, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Move to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
Approaching 9.5 to play. Rustlers with a commanding 21-point lead here over Long Beach City. 1st and 10 from the Viking 25. Johnson now in there at a tailback. He'll have his chance as he gets forward for about a yard. bye week next week for the entire SCFA. As on the other side of it brings conference play. Some shaking up in the conferences. The Southern going to look a lot different than what we've seen in recent years. Johnson takes the carry, and he may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Davis coming up from the secondary to make the stop.
And you talk about bye week for the entire SCFA. Well, don't forget that on sportsnetusa.net, East LA football will be live on Thursday. Check with sportsnetusa.net for exactly what time that will be coming up.
East LA football?
East LA football.
Really? A little Thursday night football for you here on sportsnetusa.net. I'll take it. 8 minutes left. 3rd down and 9. Retzlaff going to go to the air. Looking towards the pylon. Incomplete. And it'll be a 4th down for Golden West. DeJohn Newman, the intended wide receiver there. Freshman out of Westchester High School, near Los Angeles Airport. So this one going to be about 42. Longest of the day for Cypress.
41-yard field goal.
41 officially. 7:49 left. This to make it 4 possessions. Kick is up and no good. There's a flag on the play, however. So Cypress had been pitching a perfect game prior to that. So running into the kicker. So the perfect game remains intact. And let's see if Cypress will get another crack at it. So it'll be a 4th and 4. And they're going to send the field goal unit back out there. So Cypress will trot back onto the field again this time. He'll get another crack at it. This one from 36 yards away on the same hash. The last one was left. This one, he makes up for it. Splits the uprights. 37-13 our score here at Rustler Field on the campus of Golden West College. 7:41 to play. Don't forget, Golden West football right here on sportsnetusa.net is brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. They have new car deals, used car deals. Go down there and holler at the fine folks, as they'll be able to cater to whatever it is that you may be looking for. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located off the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports junior college sports and education. Rahshaun Haylock, Ryan Osborn, Ed Ford here with you from Huntington Beach. Pretty hot one today. Temperatures in about the high 80s, low 90s. Driving in today, Ryan. Of course, got some of that traffic from the air show. Was expecting to see more over our heads here today, Ryan.
So there was a lot as we were setting up for the broadcast earlier today. They were.
So I missed it, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, just a shade behind.
How disheartening is that? I guess there's always Instagram, right?
There is.
Saw some shots of it on Instagram yesterday. They're going to run this out of the end zone. And this is Ridgely as he spins out of a tackle at the 20 and going to be taken down right about there out of bounds. So you look at this new conference alignment. You have the Rustlers, and in the Southern Conference now, San Diego Southwestern, Saddleback, of course we know them. San Bernardino Valley, John Shipp's former squad, enters the conference as they move up from the American. San Diego Mesa and Fullerton.
First and 10 on the 21.
So Fullerton returns to the Southern Conference. Is that correct, Ryan?
That is correct.
Set up the screen. Here's Clemente Jr. with the catch. And Clemente still on his feet, 30-yard line, tackled from behind at about the 31-32. Of course, that's always meant the battle of the booths, right? And so if it was a non-conference affair, it'd be towards the beginning of the year. Conference affair, normally towards the end of the season. This will be the season finale, regular season finale. That'll be against Fullerton. Mark Pavlovich, who made a cameo, Corey Nayland as well, here today. They're heading down to El Camino, where they'll have the call of Hornets Warriors tonight here on SportsNetUSA.net. Jump ball, and coming down and making the catch on the far sideline is Leaks. And he appeared to be a little bit shaken up after that one, but that's a name we were expecting to call a lot more today, and we haven't. And that's a credit to this Rustler defense. Zach Leaks, big target, 6'5", out of South Torrance High School. Ironically enough, where Brett Peabody used to be the head coach back in the day. Can't believe he's been here in the junior college ranks for 20 years now. It's incredible. 10th year here now at Long Beach as Wes nearly escapes a sack. Has a man wide open, 10-yard line, and wrestled there. A nice pickup and getting out of bounds. That was Morgan there on the catch. 6:15 to play here in this fourth quarter.
First and 10 at the 11. 41-yard gain.
Gotta appreciate the fight here from Long Beach. Low snap, West pumps, looking to run, has space on the corner, but he runs out of it quickly as that defense converged in on him. Manuzzi was able to get there to him first. Vasquez there as well, in addition to Pamasa. Elisha Martin also making his presence felt. Second and goal from the 4. West has room, going to get it into the end zone for his second touchdown this afternoon. Derek West.
With a 4-yard run, a touchdown.
That makes it 37-19 Rustlers.
West gives them a very different dynamic than what we saw early on in the first quarter, because now the Rustlers have to worry about his legs. They can't just fully commit to the pass.
We've seen his arm talent, but definitely his legs are something that you have to watch out for. So this one to make it a 17-point game. Padilla on for the extra point. And the kick is up and good. So Rustlers 37, Vikings 20 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Rahshaun Haylock alongside Ryan Osborn, Ed Ford here with you. This first Saturday in October. Always an exciting time, right, Ryan? That first Saturday in October, because it's, I don't know about you, but for me, I kind of like dread the summer ending, but then, so September is still kind of like borderline summer, borderline fall, like you still get a little bit of each. Then October gets here and you're like, all right, well, fall I'm stuck with. Here we go. Football is here, you know, we're ready to go.
One of the great things that I love about October, and especially in community college football, is that it provides a lot of clarity. You know which teams are actually for real going into the rest of the season, and you know which teams just had a 2-0 start and aren't going to look the same the rest of the year. So it gives you a little bit more anticipation to the bigger games going on to the end of October and beginning of November.
Rustlers anticipating a onside kick here. See, I just went all personal. You just went all philosophical on that. That's why you're Ryan Osborn.
It is one of the more underrated aspects of October for me, the clarity it provides.
I like it. And here's the onside kick, and did the Rustlers get it? They did recover it. Rustlers do recover the onside kick. That thing barely traveled 10 yards, but Rondell Hargo there to recover it.
So what happens there is that it travels about 8 yards, ends up hitting a Golden West Rustler in the chest, squirts away directly to his teammate off to the right. And that's when Golden West recovers, so they end up getting a nice bounce.
So Rustlers will recover this one. And illegal touching. So illegal touching against Long Beach. So they got to it before it went 10 yards. Vikings started this season with a shutout win of LA Harbor, 32-0. First shutout for the program in a couple of years. Interesting thing about that is they were without their defensive coordinator. So Darnell Lacey, who we know well here, former defensive backs coach here at Golden West, took over the DC duties as Jared Johnson gets the carry. He's strung out of bounds, going east and west. Lacey gets called out of the bullpen and pitches a shutout. That was the first win of the season. A very up and down year for the Vikings, if they've alternated wins and losses up to this point.
And ranked top 15 entering this year too.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought, you read some of the stuff in Long Beach, you hear some of the stuff around Long Beach. This was the most talented team that Peabody has ever had there in his 10 seasons. Rustlers stick with the ground game, but that aspect of really no offseason, right? No, the protocols were a lot different in Long Beach. I remember talking to some of the basketball coaches during the time, like they couldn't even get in the gym. They were outside on the blacktop courts, trying to do defensive slides and get shooting drills and stuff in. And so Long Beach kind of had their own sort of protocols in place, which were different, obviously, from here in Orange County, where Golden West had a 2-game mini-series scheduled with its rival Orange Coast. They only ended up playing one of those games, though, however, last spring. But the Vikings were far from that as Johnson goes right side. He picks up a couple. New quarterback is Gabe Friend, 6'3", 200-pound freshman out of Chandler, Arizona. Fourth down coming up here for the Rustlers. And you wonder, kind of that weird territory, right? Like, obviously too long for a field goal unless you're Justin Tucker. And too short to punt. And here comes Guzman. Let's see a gem here from Guzman. I mean, he showed us some magic already, but let's see some of that wizardry, ball spinning knee, make it do whatever you want to do type, inside the 5 type stuff. I'm here for it. Sign me up. High snap. Oh, boy. He handles it, and there goes the punt. End over end kick, and it carries it to the end zone. Dare I say, his unit let him down there, Ryan?
They did, because
I'm on the bandwagon, Ryan. His unit let him down.
The upbacks who were going after that ball weren't sure where it ended up bouncing, and it caught them off guard because they all switched off to the left-hand side of the hash mark, and it bounces off to the right. That thing hits about the 8-yard line and has 2 hops that you can down it at, but everyone was sold out to going to the left side of the hash mark.
And to their credit, right? Easy for me to say that up here. Hard to see the ball when you're running backwards, right? Maybe one of the more underrated, tough jobs there is out there, punt coverage. Or kickoff coverage, too, for that matter. West back in there after engineering a touchdown running drive his last time out. Josue Alexander had him, and West escapes his grasp and slides inside the 25. Josue had him, but West just kept those legs moving as we're approaching 2:45 to play here. Rustlers that far removed from becoming 4-1 on the season, and that pass thrown low. Intended target was Davis. So you got all philosophical with me, Ryan, in terms of who's who and what's what, and what each team looks like, diagnose this Rustler team for me, if you will.
I think this is one of the better Rustler teams that we've seen in the last 8 years. I think that when you look at how their quarterback plays in terms of Retzlaff and how well he's able to move the ball up the field, it's really going to give you a general command of how the rest of the conference is going to go.
And interception on the far side. What a tremendous pick there by Amon Lewoy. It'll be great on the reel. Unfortunately, it won't count. Pretty sure this penalty is against the Rustlers. That was a free play there for the Vikings. Offsides, Golden West. Absolutely. 2:25 left. Continue, sir.
But going back to how well he's able to play, you look at the Southern Conference. Traditionally in Southern California, if you've got a good quarterback who can move you up the field, you control the way the rest of the conference ends up going. And that's what it looks like Golden West has in their offensive core. When you look at their defense, especially how they played today and how they played last week against Riverside, this is a team that can get off the field on third down.
As West runs out of bounds. And that's really at every level of football, though, right? I mean, there are not very many teams that win championships in spite of their quarterback, right? It's normally, you normally have to have great results at that position. Pass caught in the middle of the field, and that was Ridgely there inside of Rustler territory.
And the fact that they were able to beat the #1 team in the country at the time in Riverside City College last week shows them and shows everyone else how well they're able to match up with those top teams. It's not just kind of a fluke that you're seeing. They actually have the ability to go up against top opponents and not just win. They beat Riverside City College. 17 points is not something small when you're taking down the #1 team in the nation.
And you can almost echo that here today, right? I mean, from a talent perspective, right? Like, who's winning the all airport teams, right? Riverside's going to win the all airport team. Long Beach is going to win the all airport team. Like you're not going to mistake Golden West for winning any sort of all airport competitions, right?
The score is mirrored from last week too.
So I think that's a great point by you. I mean, it's Derek West loses the ball. Whoa! When the circus come to town? Approaching 1.5 to play. Don't see that often.
He went to go switch his hands on which side was going to carry the football, and it just ends up hitting his protector and going loose.
You mentioned one of the best teams they've had here in quite a few years. When you hear names like Jake Retzlaff and Tanner Branson, as West goes airborne and juggled and caught. No, incomplete. You are reminded of names like Chris D'Antremont, who was a state player of the year here when the Rustlers had their most successful season in program history. Quest Truxton, one of the more refined and accomplished wide receivers to ever walk through the doors here at Golden West. And so when you hear those kind of names, it's like, whoa, you know. It's a little eerie, but it opens up the eyes, right? Those guys accomplished some great things here, and we're a part of some good teams here, more importantly. And so maybe this could be a special kind of season for the Rustlers as the screen is set up, and here is Davis, and Davis with some room, hurls the man, but caught in the air by Kylan Neal. That might be the catch of the day, Ryan Osborn. J.D. Davis is a big boy.
Not just caught, but stopped from continuing forward progress as well.
Or Elijah Davis, I beg your pardon. It's a big boy. Under 45 seconds left. West stepping up in the pocket, avoids one man, a stiff arm, sidesteps another and dives to about the 10. Clock continues to run, under 30 seconds here. And if you're the Rustlers, Coach Mitchell was very adamant about the last time they played here against Bakersfield. He said, look, this may be a loss that ends up benefiting us. Like, we can learn tremendously from this game as they go upstairs and incomplete, 13 seconds remaining. Maybe this can be a learning lesson. And the bounce back was real. You go to the then #1 team in the state, Riverside, you knock them off. But not only that, you're not reading your own press clippings. You're not drinking your own Kool-Aid the week prior. You're coming here, take on a very talented Long Beach team, and you're up here now by 3 scores with 13 seconds to play. Those are ingredients of a good team. As Wes tries to escape and can't. Josue Alexander in there, along with Devontae Dillard. As we're just under 5 seconds left here. Timeout taken by Long Beach. So they're going to try to set up a play here, try to get into the end zone. What do you make of Long Beach, I guess?
I think for Long Beach, they may have found someone who can kind of change the way that their offense moves. We saw in the first quarter, initially it was not necessarily West Coast, but it had those similarities of we're just going to throw and see what we can do with our legs afterwards. But then once West gets in there, it gives them multiple options when they're going up the field. We've seen him get into open space and throw downfield. We've seen him get into open space and then throw a little wheel route right next to him. Then we've also seen him throw screens coming out of the pocket. It changes things and how their offense is able to manufacture yardage. I think if you're Long Beach, you're actually pleasantly surprised to come out of this knowing that you have a guy who was #2 on your depth chart who can now move you up the field the rest of the season as well.
It'd be interesting to see what they do going forward. Coach Peabody has traditionally played 2 guys there at quarterback, and so if there's an injury by McKibben, if he'll get back in there and they'll continue to play 2 the rest of the season, that remains to be seen. Or if West ends up being the guy. Here's West going to be sacked on the last play of the game, and that is Ismail Souza putting a capper on this one, an exclamation point, if you will. Rustlers win 4 out of 5 to start this season. 4-1 on the year, entering the bye, as they knock off Long Beach 37-20 here at Rustler Field. Golden West will be on a bye next week, as will the rest of the SCFA. And they'll return to action to open up Southern Conference play 2 weeks from now against Southwestern. Chris Redfern called a great game, linebackers coach, also assistant defensive coordinator, we can call him now. He says, hello, Mom. So Mama Redfern, if you're listening out there, Chris says hello. Give him a big hug. He called a heck of a game here today. Rustlers knock off the Vikings 37-20. So for all of us here at SportsNetUSA.net, I'm Rahshaun Haylock. We will see you down the road. Rustlers win it. Good afternoon from Huntington Beach.